Hey there, this is Andrea with ADS, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. Welcome, and thanks so much for being here. Today, this is a special request video. Bronson Lee, if you're out there, this is not your video yet, but I have not forgotten you. That will be coming soon. I've got a talk just for you coming up this Friday, actually, about LinkedIn. However, today's chat is a request about sales funnels. What is a sales funnel? How do you do it? How do you work it? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to quickly, as succinctly as possible, kind of clue you in on a simple sales funnel. If you look up sales funnels, you will find a myriad of options of things to choose from. And people will tell you, ooh, this one's old. Don't use this. Use this. This one's modern and for today and blah, blah, blah. And the truth is there's a tried and true model that no matter what tools and things become available to us, and largely no matter how much the world changes, it still stays true to this model. So I really want to share this one with you. And it is a combination of two things that are a staple in the marketing community, which I will share with you right now. Let's go. So the two things you need to know about in terms of a sales funnel is an acronym called AIDA. This is an old school acronym. Again, you're going to hear all kinds of people say, oh, add another D to the acronym and add this, and it's totally flip it on its head, blah, blah, blah. Forget all that. I'm telling you, this still applies. AIDA, A-I-D-A, and also three words, know, like, and trust. Put these two together, you have a winning combination for a sales funnel every time. Okay, so, and also if you combine that with your brand story, you know how you tell the story of your brand, that is even more powerful. So we'll do that another day if you're interested. So, but today I want to explain to you AIDA and how that fits with know, like, and trust for your sales model. The number one first thing you need to know about a sales funnel is do not ever start out the gate selling. I know so many people who have 100 followers somewhere, no email list, and they want to sell a 2 to 3K product out the gate with no audience and no one listening to them yet. Do not just go out there and be like, here's our product, buy it, thank you. No, that is not what a funnel is. A funnel takes people through this process of awareness, interest, desire, and then action, which is your sale. And in that process, they will know, people will begin to know, like, and trust you. Because that is very critical. Before anyone ever buys anything, they must think about it. You have never bought anything from anyone that you did not know, like, and trust. I do not care if the item was as simple as a 50-cent piece of gum, or if it was this $12 pen, or your $40,000 car. You do not buy anything unless you know, like, and trust that person that is selling it to you. Likewise, you do not buy anything unless you know, like, and trust the brand and or company that is selling it to you as well. Because would you buy something from someone you've never heard of? No. Would you buy something from a company you don't even like or a brand that rubs you the wrong way? Heck no. And also, would you buy something from someone you do not trust whatsoever? Again, that's an X. That's an X all day. No. So you must cultivate this feeling of know, like, and trust in people. And a great way to do that is to think of the funnel AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, and action. Okay? So again, I'm going to say this again. Do not go out the gate trying to sell to people directly. You must warm them up, and that's what a sales funnel is all about. It's warming people up. It's getting them to know, like, and trust you, and it's getting them to the place where they have determined that you are delivering value to them, and they like you, and this is a correct decision in their world. It makes sense. There's no reason why they shouldn't, but there's a process to getting there, okay? It does not just happen off the bat. The other first thing to know before we dig into the AIDA thing is that you cannot just be out there with no audience. You really must audience build. Okay. Again, you can build a great funnel, but if you have no one listening to you and you don't have ad money behind those dollars to help people find you in the first place, all of that is for naught, because now you have all this great tools and things you developed and still no one to listen to it and still no one to pay attention to it. So it really, really is important to audience build. I cannot stress this enough. Again, do not be out there with 100 followers trying to sell. You know why? Because what is the percentage? And let's keep this just simple for social media purposes. What is the percentage of your audience that will actually buy from you or take action from something you ever post or do an ad about? Generally, it's less than 3%. It's somewhere between 1% to 3% typically. And so if you have 100 followers, maybe one person might take action whenever you choose to post something, share something. Those are bad odds versus if you have an audience of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. And these are people who actually care about you and what you do, not just bot followers. Okay. So that's in a social media context. Take that same thought process to your email list. It does you no good to just buy a list of emails, and people are still doing that. Yes. It does you no good to have this random list of emails just to say, oh, I have 1,000 emails. I have 10,000 emails I can send someone. So it doesn't matter if those people do not care about what you do, does it? Because all they're going to do is what? Hit unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. And they're going to be like, how did you even get my email in the first place? You're spam. I'm telling on you. Right? And that's true. People are still doing this. So 2 things: have an audience, let it be the right audience. All these things are very, very important. Yes, there are ways to fast track some of this with ads and things like that, but truthfully, the best way to do it is to grow organically over time, and it does take time. I'm sorry to tell you. Some people just, I know you want the magic bullet and you want to just come out the gate selling, and next thing you know, you're making 6 figures to $1 million with your product or service. I want that for you too. But again, it's got to be done the right way. All right. So next. The last most important thing I must tell you before we dig into this funnel, and I'm sorry this comes with so many disclaimers, but it's so critical for you to know. It is. I am a marketer that's been around for over 15 years, and I have to tell you, I have seen this over and over and over again. These are the things you must know before you even begin to dig into the sales process. The higher the cost of your service, and remember, all of this is relative depending on who your target audience is and how much this will cost them relative to what their discretionary income is, or if it's another corporation, relative to what their corporate budgets are, that kind of thing. It's all relative, but just keep in mind the general idea that the more your product or service costs, the longer lead time you will need to get people through this know, like, and trust factor to justify spending that amount of money with you. If you're just selling a $3 ebook, that's a much shorter lead time than a $3,000 product. True? Or a $30,000 fan. There's just a longer lead time for higher cost items. So if you've got a really high cost service out there that you're trying to sell, just know this lead funnel better be on point and your messaging better be on point in order to get someone to justify spending that with you. And again, it's all relative. Keep that in mind depending on who your audience is, but we are not all selling to millionaires all the time. So, if you're direct to consumer, business to consumer, B2C, then consider the wallets of your audience and what it will take to get them to commit to spending what you want them to spend with you. And likewise, if you're B2B, business to business, what will it take to get a corporation to agree to spending X amount of a budget with you, right? So keep that in mind as well. It's all relative, but the cost does matter relative to your audience. Now, let's get to the funnel. So the first thing is awareness. Awareness is the biggest part of this funnel. Awareness is the thing that gets your brand visible to people, right? This is how we even know that you exist in the first place. So this is critical, and this is the broadest part of your funnel. Not everyone who becomes aware of you will become the people who buy from you, right? But you have to have a pretty large funnel to start with. Again, remember the audience size where I said if you had an audience of 100, maybe one person might take action, i.e. buy from you eventually. You cannot have a funnel with 100 people in it expecting 50 of them to buy or all of them to buy. It's not ever going to happen like that. So what you need is a system that gives you the volume up here at the top for visibility awareness. And it gives you, by the time you get down here to the bottom for action, your 3 to 5% or so who are going to actually buy from you, and they actually care about what you're doing and that kind of thing. So this is why having your target audience defined, which I will link to this video in the cards above, is very, very critical. Okay. So awareness, visibility, this is the thing that gets you traffic to your website. This is the thing that is going to get people's eyeballs on your brand. So again, they have to know who you are before they ever buy from you. This is the know who you are part. So they have to be aware that you even exist. And this can be achieved in a number of ways. It can be word of mouth. These are all your marketing efforts to get people's attention in the first place. Word of mouth, your paid search, search engine marketing, your paid Facebook and Instagram ads, your email list once people ultimately opt in, your website, all these external things that ultimately attract people to you. YouTube is a wonderful lead magnet. I get a lot of really good leads from YouTube because the people who are listening to this are people who are like, yes, this is what I need. They're business owners who are looking for marketing, branding help, and eventually they're going to be business owners who can afford our services. Likewise for you, YouTube video is king today. I'm telling you, if you're not doing video, please consider it. Let me get off my tangent and soapbox. But just remember that these kinds of marketing activities to get people aware of you in the first place matters. This is not selling time. This is awareness time, and you do have to take time to bring forth awareness. This is where your audience building. This is where people are starting to follow you. This is where people know who you are. Again, they have to know you, okay? And this is the A part of that funnel, AIDA, awareness. Got it? So the next part of this funnel is interest. Awareness, interest, desire, action. Awareness, interest, desire, action. So not only do they have to be aware of you, but your target, whom you're going after, has to have an interest in what you're doing. So it doesn't matter if they know about you if what you're offering doesn't matter to them anyway. So this is the part where you are going to have to be creative and start speaking to this audience that really will ultimately want your product or service at the end of the day. So you have a product or service that you are selling, and then you have to think, what will my target audience be thinking? And there are ways to go about doing this. You can do surveys, you can do some research, you can look up things, you can do some social listening, but you really have to know how to speak to your audience in order to get them to be interested in the first place. One really great way to get interest going in people is to add value. So you want to add value to them by helping them. One of the best ways to add value is to help people get results. So even if it's a small thing, if you help them win and have a quick win, it is the ultimate way to speed up that know, like, trust factor, because they say, you know what? I listened to that girl and what she said worked. Oh my gosh, I'm going to keep listening to her. I'm going to dig further and see, what else is about and what else does she have going on. So help people get quick wins. That's value. And that can come in so many forms, online in particular. Right now you can do simple things like give them a checklist, of this thing. For this video, I can give you a simple checklist, or a little diagram that you can print off about the AIDA funnel or know, like, and trust. By the way, if you want one, put it in the comments below. I'll be happy to do that for you. You want to create value. Checklists are a way to do that. You can also do things like do an online workshop, a webinar that's free, your little freebie webinar that leads people to a sale ultimately. You can do an ebook, all these kinds of things. These are called lead magnets. These are the things that attract your ideal lead to you. Literally a lead magnet. And that is the I in the AIDA funnel, is interest. They are interested because you are doing something that is providing value to their life. You're helping them with something. Okay, this is not the sales point yet. This is a soft sell. You're saying, hey, potential customer, I have this thing that can help you right now. All you have to do is give me your email in exchange. This is getting them in the funnel. Give me your email and I'll give you this thing of value. Lead magnets are the thing that give you some quick credibility because it's helping you provide some quick value to your lead. So again, this is creating interest in the audience that you want. Awareness, interest. The next level is desire. So now not only have you piqued my interest, but now I'm starting to want what you actually have. And that's because you're starting to introduce some things to me that show me, A, you know what you're talking about. You understand my pains and motivations. You've expressed that. I can tell that you potentially have the solution to my problem. And therefore, I am going to listen to you even more. And I'm going to really consider what you're talking about because you're really talking about my problem. And I can tell that you probably have a solution to my problem. That is starting to get into the desire zone. So this is the part where you are nurturing these leads that have come to you. So you've created some interest. You've gotten them aware of you. That's the know part. That is the getting into the like factor where they're starting to like you because you helped them. Don't we like people who help us? Yes. So that's a know, like. And now the trust factor comes with time. And so this is the nurturing part. This is where you're creating an email sequence, for example, that gives people value over time and is sending them messages over time that shows that you're there, you're showing up, you're providing value consistently, and you're speaking to their problem on a consistent basis. That's an email nurturing. A good email nurturing sequence will lead them down this path of a sale, right? Likewise, you can have a series of ads. So if someone took action and downloaded your checklist, you can put them in a funnel with your Facebook pixels and everything and start serving them up ads through Facebook, through Google. You can do retargeting ads and all this wonderful world of advertising where you can follow that person. Have you ever been on Amazon, for example, and you started searching for a particular outfit, and the next thing you know, that outfit is following you onto Facebook, and you start seeing it on websites and banner ads and things that have nothing to do with Amazon. And that's called retargeting, because you saw something, you showed some interest in it, and now we are following you and serving you up that thing, hoping that you'll come back and buy it, right? Because you spent some considerable amount of time looking at it in the first place. That is a part of nurturing. So you can serve up a series of ads to say, hey, you look like you like this thing. You might also like this thing, So it's being smart about who's coming around your space, and it's offering them up a series of ads to lead them down the path of some kind of sale. Ideally, the product or service you meant to sell in the first place, right? So this is also where somewhere in this process, especially if you're doing your email nurturing, you're going to want people to self-select what they're interested in, which is ideal. So when they're signing up for a form, if you have a couple of different categories of products that they could be interested in or services, you could just ask them, list the services. Don't make an exhaustive list, but a simple 3 or 4 buckets, and let them, and it's just got a simple radio button, and let them choose it themselves. Say you're a political candidate and people are coming to your site. You can ask them if they're interested in donating, fundraising, they want to be a volunteer, they want to throw a party for you, whatever, And if they happen to self-select any of those, then okay, they belong in this bucket. I need to start serving up these kinds of messages to them because this is what they're interested in. Not these other things, this particular thing. A volunteer may not want to get a bunch of donation messages. A volunteer, someone who's interested in volunteering, may not want to get hosting party stuff. They may just want to knock on doors and that's it. You know, a volunteer may not want to put a sign in their yard or anything like that. They may just simply, again, want to knock on doors. So speak to what people are telling you they want to do and make sure you're serving up messages based on what they're telling you. So self-selecting for an email list is a great thing to do. Another great way that you can nurture is to put people in your community. So Facebook groups, for example, is a great way to add people to your community or to create a sense of community amongst people who may ultimately be clients of yours. And so, or customers, however you call them. So a Facebook group can be exclusive, private. It's something people opt into, and it's a great way to serve up messages uniquely. Facebook is really pushing Facebook groups. So, you know, you have a lot of interesting freedom in there that you don't have with a regular business page. When people are in a group, they typically will see messages, announcements, all of this, whereas they may never see that on your business page because that's a pay-to-play space now. Here in your Facebook group, they can get those messages for free organically because they opted in to be a part of this group. So creating a sense of community is also a way to nurture people over time. It gives them space to know, like, and trust you. You can do live videos in your Facebook group and all other kinds of, you can offer other lead magnets in your group to see what entices your target audience in there. And those are all wonderful ways to get people to feel like they're a part of your community. And that's, again, know, like, and trust. Those are 3 big things that help people get to that space where they're ready to buy from you. Again, it can take time, but community is a great part of nurturing. So we did awareness, interest, desire, and action is ultimately the sale. So when they get here to the sales part, it is not always just a one and done thing, because once people actually do take that step to buy from you, it is not necessarily over. You can upsell them, you can do add-ons, and you can do a VIP package for people, all kinds of stuff, you know, and they can be a repeat customer, right? So you want to have messages to put them back in the funnel. You know, if they're a repeat customer, they can go through their own special funnel, you know, to offer them solutions to more of their problems. They may not even realize that this is something that you offer. So that is a funnel: awareness, interest, desire, and action. And the most important things of that is that we're getting people in this process to know, like, and trust us enough to buy from us. Okay? Those are the basics, my dears. What questions do you have about sales funnels, how to optimize your funnel, all those kinds of things? Love to hear them. Love, love, love to hear them. Again, thanks so much for being here. I super appreciate you. If this is your first time here, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to this channel. If you have not already, the button is below. And when you hit subscribe, also hit the little bell. That's a notifications bell. So that makes sure that you get notifications every time one of these videos comes up, every Tuesday, sometimes Wednesdays, mostly Tuesdays early in the week. And those come out every week. So if you do not hit that little bell, you probably will never see me again, and I want to see you back here again. All right, and also do like this video if you liked it. Leave a comment below if you have questions, or if you liked this, or whatever kind of comments you may have. I'd love to hear them. And also feel free to follow us. You can connect with us on social media at The ADS Agency. That's THEADS, like ads, like advertising agency. The ADS Agency. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, here on YouTube. We're also now on TikTok. Yay. And if you're listening to this on podcast, then on Google Play, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, please be sure to rate and review us, because we love hearing your feedback and your comments. We read all of them. So thank you to those of you who have done that. We super appreciate you. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to trust data and science, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.